Welcome to this webinar on student immunization requirements for new students at the University of Chicago. All incoming and readmitted students must comply with the state of Illinois and the university's specific immunization requirements. It is a state of Illinois and a University of Chicago requirement that all students provide proof of certain immunizations, preferably at least 30 days before classes begin, to ensure that the vaccination is effective. The required vaccinations for students who are not in the medical school are 2 vaccinations for measles, mumps, rubella, which is also referred to as MMR, and 3 vaccinations for tetanus and diphtheria, one of which must contain Tdap, and the last dose must have been received within 10 years. If you are under the age of 22 at the time of enrollment, you must also show proof that you received a meningococcal conjugate vaccination after the age of 16. Please note that the meningitis B vaccination does not satisfy this requirement. The COVID-19 vaccination is strongly recommended but not required by the university, with the exception of medical school students. If you are a medical school student, your requirements and deadlines are different. Please visit wellness.uchicago.edu for further information. In order to meet the University and State of Illinois immunization requirement, you will be asked to provide proper documentation. Acceptable documentation is one of the following: a completed immunization form available on the Wellness website, signed by your healthcare provider, immunization records from a prior educational institution, such as your high school or college, an international certificate of immunization, military records documenting the month, day, and year of immunization administration, or antibody titer lab report indicating positive immunity. Please note, values reported in the equivocal range on lab reports are not considered to indicate positive immunity. No matter the form of documentation, all immunization records must either be in English or, if they are not, must be accompanied by a certified English translation. Documents must be clearly legible and include your name and date of birth on each page to be considered acceptable. The university does not provide translation service, but advice on finding a service can be found on the Office of International Affairs website. All UChicago students have their own wellness portal where their medical and other health information resides. You will need to log into your my.wellness portal using your CNET ID and password, and then click on Medical Clearances from the left-hand menu. Here you will provide the dates you received your immunizations and upload your completed documentation. New students for autumn quarter will be able to upload proof of immunizations beginning the week of August 1st. There are a few common mistakes that we see students make. First, some students forget to enter the dates of each required vaccination. Another mistake that is often made is not uploading all the necessary documents. Remember, you need to show proof of immunization or immunity for all the required vaccinations. Lastly, your full name and your date of birth must be on all document pages and images. If you don't have this information on each page, your approval process may be delayed. Once you have entered all the dates and uploaded all documents, a student wellness staff member will review them and determine if you've met the requirements or if further action is needed. Routine submission typically takes up to 14 days to process. There will be a status icon in your portal for each immunization requirement after your documentation has been reviewed. It will either say compliant or not compliant. If you have questions about your status, you can send a message to the immunization team through the wellness portal. If further action is required, you will receive an email to your @uchicago.edu email address. Please note it will come to you as a secured message. If you have trouble accessing the email, then go to the wellness portal where you will see the same information on your secure messages. We must stress here that it is important to read all communications which will be sent to your @uchicago.edu email address, not the email address you used in your application to the university. In particular, if you receive a reminder from UChicago Student Wellness regarding the immunization requirement, it means you have not taken action or have not fulfilled all requirements. Please do not ignore these emails. While it is preferred that you make every attempt to fulfill this requirement 30 days prior to classes taking place on campus, we realize some of these vaccinations are not easily available, particularly if you are outside of the U.S. Once you know when you will arrive on campus, please schedule an appointment through your my.wellness portal for any of the vaccinations listed on this slide. New students for autumn quarter will be able to schedule appointments beginning the week of August 1st. These required vaccinations are available to students free of charge. If you opt to receive some or all of your vaccinations on campus, it is very important to note that some of these vaccinations are given in multiple doses over several months, so you may need to make a follow-up appointment to complete all of the required vaccinations. You must meet the immunization requirement by the end of the 4th week of your first quarter at the university, or you will not be able to register for classes in subsequent quarters as stated in the student manual. If you have questions as you complete this process, please send a message to the immunizations team through the wellness portal. As a reminder, everything covered here and more can be found at wellness.uchicago.edu.